All right, so I think we're live. I know it's like almost 11 o'clock, and I normally don't post videos this late or even really hop on, but I said I wanted to make this like an every week thing. So I'm going to try to kind of stick to the schedule matter what. This week's been a tough week. There's been a lot that's going on. I, Earlier today, I went to a funeral. My grandpa passed away recently, so it's been a tough week, but it's just trying to make sure that I'm keeping myself busy. I think at least that's what works for me anyways. But yeah, just want to make sure I'm being true to what I said I was going to do this year by making sure that we hopped on and went live at least once a week. Just the way I can catch up with everybody. Hopefully you guys are all having a good week. Let me know any of your wins that you've had this week down in the chat. Let's see. 2K Demix, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for hopping on the stream. I don't know how long I'll be on stream this evening just because I'm not sure how many of you guys are actually going to be on, but I figure I'd just like hop on and kind of give you guys an update on kind of what's gone on over the week. Seemed like I got some pretty good feedback from the video I posted this week. This week's video was all about time management and how I try to be the best that I can be with my time management as far as like working my 9 to 5 and then actually having some time allotted to be creative. And by all means, I'm not perfect at it, but just kind of shared. If you haven't checked it out, you can go watch it if you want to, but just kind of shared like some of the things that I do to kind of gives me a little bit more leverage on my time during the week because I work a full-time job and also do this YouTube thing part-time. And then I'm also a dad. So there's a lot of things that are going on during the week. And it's a matter if I don't really try to manage my schedule in some way, I won't really have any time, but just like allowing myself to be there to be some flexibility because there's been times where I've tried to put too many constraints on myself and then it just isn't enjoyable at all. Like this hopping on stream and everything was something that I wanted to do. It wasn't something like I felt like I had to do. And I think that's kind of the loose type schedule thing that I'm trying to do this year versus being super strict. Last year was good. I feel like I made some pretty good progress last year, but I feel like there's always room for improvement and everything kind of goes like back and forth. Like when you start to get too relaxed, then it's time to start to get strict on like how you want to, orient the direction you're trying to go into your goal. And then there's times where you just need to be a little bit more loose and not be so serious. So yeah, that's kind of what was last week's video. And then I'll have a new video going up on Monday. And yeah, I'm not sure if you guys are liking the new content. I'm trying to do a mix of like not just Premiere Pro content, but also content that is related towards just the creative process because I'm more of an artsy creative type person. It's kind of one of the things that I've discovered about myself. Like I've been playing guitar since I was like 8 years old and I'm like big into music. I was really big into drawing whenever I was growing up and I'm still kind of into drawing. I don't really do it that much anymore, but I was big into like graffiti way back in the day, but yeah, I don't know. I just have this like artsy type, I don't know. And you see a lot of that on YouTube right now, but it's just kind of seems like the direction that I've went that's kind of pushed me into videography, photography and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. I wanted to share more of what my creative process looks like and maybe that'll help somebody else out. I don't know. The video editing side of things is an artistic aspect of it and it's something that I enjoy, but I just wanted to share that creative part of the journey as well. But if you're hanging out in the chat, make sure that you leave me a comment down there and so that way I can interact with you. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions about anything that, did you watch the video this week on the time management thing? And was there any questions that you had about it or any creative questions that you had? I'm thinking about making a video about like the ideation process because I touched on it briefly in the video that I posted this week about like coming up with ideas and stuff like that. And for me, you see all this stuff on YouTube. It's about like making a good YouTube video is all about coming up with the best idea. And like, I get it. Like you want to definitely have good ideas because a good idea with like some okay packaging and stuff like that, I've seen it do very well. Like a good idea is really important, but it's like, how do I come up with good ideas? Do I get that information from do I get it from looking and copying what other people are doing online? Or so for me, as far as like coming up with ideas, what's been really helpful for me is just to slow down and stop consuming so much and allow, like, there's a portion that you need to gather information, like going and watching content on YouTube around the things that you want to make, or drawing creative inspiration, like definitely taking in that, listening to music and stuff, and watching videos and getting that creative inspiration. And then the next step is to kind of take a step away and kind of let your ideas develop and everything like that. Like, I don't know about you, but a lot of my ideas, they come to me whenever I'm in the shower, or if when I'm getting ready for bed at night, or a lot of times what I'll do is I'll force myself to like just go on a walk. For me, I have the habit of filling that time, like anytime that I'm bored, like let's say I'm standing in line, or like if I'm getting a coffee or something, or if I'm standing in line somewhere, or I'm just driving to work. A lot of times I'll just try to fill that time by, listening to an audiobook, or scrolling through social media if I'm sitting here at the house. And what you're doing, what I've noticed for me is that it doesn't allow me to really allow my mind any time to reset. Most people will say like, you just need to meditate. And I'm not saying that you have to meditate, because some people, they're not necessarily going to have the patience to meditate, or they're not going to want to meditate. And so a form of meditation for me has always just been like, just go out on a walk and just do nothing. Like, don't walk with the earbud in your ear. Don't walk with and listen to music or anything like that. But just like actually walk and do nothing, and allow your ideas to kind of just go through your mind, and then see what comes from that. Because I've had a lot of good ideas come out of nowhere, or I've been able to just piece together ideas. It's been really helpful for me just to be able to kind of come up with new concepts, versus just, for me, whenever I just consume, and I never allow my time or my like brain to relax, or those ideas to develop, I've had a lot of, just there's basically burnout. Like, I just feel like, why can't I come up with any good ideas? Like, why is it so hard for me to come up with anything? And really the solution was just to just slow down and do nothing. So again, if you're hanging out here on the stream, let me know down in the chat. You have 80,000 subscribers. Why are you not getting more than 1,000 views? Well, that's a good question. And the whole reason why, like, this is just my hypothesis on the situation, is that I think that because I was like going more towards, like, a lot of people's taste have changed. A lot of people are not using Premiere Pro like they were. A lot of people have switched over to DaVinci Resolve, and a lot of my viewership was coming for just Premiere. So as this channel, I think I started it like 5-6 years ago, and it's grown to 80,000 subscribers. And so a lot of people that have subscribed before they're no longer Premiere Pro. Like, they're not editing videos in Premiere Pro. Maybe they've swapped over to DaVinci Resolve and they're watching other people. But a lot of people come to my channel for Premiere Pro content. And then another thing is that I started to adjust the type of content that I post on my channel, because I didn't want to just talk about video editing or just Premiere Pro. And so a lot of people that have subscribed to the channel, I'm sure they're not particularly interested in some of the photography videos and stuff like that. So whenever it comes to that was just like, because I started changing up a little bit of the content that I post. And so that's probably affected like why I'm not getting more than 1,000 views on a video. And honestly, the biggest thing is that, as far as being a creative person, is like, views are something that I think anyone that wants to be successful on YouTube is important to them, but not just getting so wrapped up in the views, because I care more about the relationship that I have with you all as an audience than I do just getting like millions and millions of views. And I get so many comments that I don't actually get to interact or have a relationship with you all. Because there's some guys that reach out to me frequently that are also in like my free community that I'm really close with, and I'm really grateful for the relationship that I have with you all. And it's more of an intimate relationship, rather than just like I can only respond to so many comments, and hopefully I can respond to yours type of thing. So hopefully that answered your question. It's frustrating, but at the end of the day, it's like, not trying to be a little bit more optimistic and not get so wrapped up around how many views I'm getting per video, and focusing on the process. But going back to like the whole ideas piece, was just like, how many ideas can I come up with? And I think, for me, it's been about just being intentional with the content that I'm watching, and not just like watch some content, but then also make sure that you're watching content that's related to what your specific creative, area is, and then consume that and then draw inspiration that way, and then take a break and then just allow that to stew, because you're just just think about the different content that you watch is just different pieces of the recipe, and you are the actual dish, if you will. And so as you sprinkle in little bits and pieces from those different creators or individuals that you watch on YouTube, like you can take little bits from their content and sprinkle it in and make it your own. And so that makes your unique concept versus just completely ripping people off. But yeah, I don't want to take up too much time this evening. You know, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the chat, and I'm happy to answer any of them. I don't want to. It's really late, so at least here in the United States, here in Georgia, we got some snow this week, and it snows like once every 5 years here. I've lived in other places, and snow is like not so much of a, or like a, for me anyways. I don't get super excited about it. My little girl gets excited about it, but I used to get really excited about it whenever I lived here growing up as a kid. But now every time I see snow, it's like, oh, it's, you know, the roads are going to be slick, and, you know, I got to get the stuff off of my driveway. And so, yeah, but we got some snow this week. That was a good change of pace. I'm good with it here in Georgia because we only get it for a short period of time and then it's gone. I lived in other places like Missouri where we had it for, it would be weeks and weeks that we would have snow, and it would get down to like single digits when I'd be going to work in the morning. So it was pretty awful. But yeah, we got some good snow this week, and it's just, that was just a pick me up type of thing. But again, let me know if you guys are, you know, this is something that you're interested in. If there's certain things that you would like to see me talk about during these streams, or like, because I'm pretty going with the flow with this. There's a loose agenda that I have for each one of these, but I really just, the chat and everything kind of just steers the direction that these conversations go. But I'm not going to take up anybody else's time. It was cool just to hang out. Just wanted to hop on for about 10, 15 minutes, see what you guys are up to. And yeah, I'll see you in this week's video on Monday. You guys take care.